just a little bit, a bit too close. What's up, everybody? What's up, Neon? Figured I would attempt to start a stream in the middle of the day here. And I know a lot of my viewers tend to be on middle of the day area. Kind of give you guys an update. I do not have a video for you today for several reasons. Kind of want to talk about that. Wait to see if we can get a few more people in here. Who knows? Who knows if people will join or not. If nobody shows up, then I'll probably just end the live stream and then just record a video and put it up for you. But yeah, it's been pretty hectic with a bunch of tennis lately. Got like one of my seasons just started. One of my playoffs, I'm waiting on playoff match number 2. My USTA started. We have something here in Atlanta called Alta. So we've got 4 seasons going on. And then I've also got a ladder that I'm trying to get a couple matches in on, which I just don't have any time for right now. So, what's up, Emil? Oh, in Sweden, nice. Thanks, I appreciate that. Let's see, in Sweden right now, it's probably what, about 7 hours, maybe different, 6, 7 hours. It was about 8 o'clock there, roughly. That's what I would guess anyway. I think you guys should be right around there, I would think. 6, 7 hours? 7:23, yeah, 6 hours, okay. Best of luck putting your kids to bed. I know for some people that can be a challenge. Man, I want to talk to you guys. I mean, y'all are in here, so I'm going to talk to you about it. Um, Hopefully some more people join. But this USTA match I had the other day was ridiculous. What's up, Injank? This USTA match I had the other day. So this is my third season playing USTA since I started playing tennis, and I've been on this 4-0 team the whole time. Been on the same team the whole time. The very first season, I was obviously not quite as good as I am now, and I was playing usually a line 3 doubles, line 2 doubles, somewhere in there. And if you guys aren't familiar with the USTA setup, you have 2 singles matches and 3 doubles matches. And typically, your singles players are going to be, more singles-oriented people, obviously, but typically your number 1 and number 2 singles and then your number 1 doubles will be kind of the better players on your team, typically. Now, you can rearrange that to kind of stack your team. So like some teams will put like maybe like their strongest doubles team at line 3 doubles because they know that their line 1 doubles is probably going to beat their line 3 doubles. So they try to like stack it to like make sure that you get enough lines because you have to win 3 out of the 5 lines to win the entire match. So there's a lot of like stuff that goes on with there, but you despise doubles. I don't despise doubles. I enjoy all tennis. But I'm definitely a singles person. I have to try really hard not to be a ball hog in doubles just because of how much singles I play. And so it's really hard to change that mindset. But so for the first 2 seasons that I played, the first season I played a lot of doubles and I didn't do, I probably won about 50% of my matches maybe. And then I knew that there were a lot of people on the team that were better than I was. But on the second season, I stepped it up a little bit. I was getting better, and I started to play. I played doubles in the beginning, and then I played like 1 or 2 singles matches towards the later part of the season and did well. And so this season, I feel like I'm the strongest I've been so far, and now I'm playing number 1 singles, which is a huge honor to play number 1 singles in the first place for your team. And then to have such a ridiculously good match. It was crazy. It was a 2.5-hour match, and it was hot as blazes outside. It wasn't as hot as it could have been because we did have kind of some overcast, but there was so much moisture in the air that it was just, my shirt was drenched after like 30 minutes of playing. And I didn't actually bring a change of shirts with me that day, so I just had to live with it for the rest of the match. But it was so warm, so humid, and I kind of gassed myself a little too fast in the match. Didn't really take into consideration how much humidity was in the air and how much it was tolling on me. So I beat him 6-3 in the first set. I was playing well. And then in the second set, we were just trading games, and I started to really burn down by about midway through the second set. Didn't conserve my stamina enough. Ended up losing the second set, and which would mean that we have to play a third set. And so I was just, I mean, it was like 6-4 or something like that, 5-7. I don't remember. Super close. Second set, and then on the third set, we were both like pretty tired. So we played some lazier tennis. It wasn't like high quality tennis like the first set was. But we struggled through it. We just back and forth. And he ended up going. See, I was up 5-3. I was up 5-3 on serve, and it started to sprinkle a little bit of rain outside, and I was like, oh no, I do not want to have to make up this match. So I rushed around to the other side of the court to go ahead and start serving, and I didn't realize how little energy I had, and I just like double faulted twice and like played really poorly, lost that service game. Then he held serve. Now we're at 5-5, and then I lost my serve again to go down 6-5. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to dig some energy out of somewhere. I didn't have any like snacks on me. I didn't have like a banana. I was like out of water pretty much at this point. I didn't bring enough water for the match. And somehow I dug out enough energy to tie it up 6-6 and break his serve. and we had to go to a tiebreaker for the third set. And at this point, we've been playing for well over 2 hours, and so I mean, just flat out exhausted. And so I kind of took like a short 30-second, 1 minute break to just kind of recoup after the end of the third set, or end of the 6-6, going into the tiebreaker. And I just sat there and was like, oh my gosh, I need to find some energy somewhere. So I just pulled out the reserves, pulled the underarm serve out. You have no idea. You have no idea how close I was to doing that. Literally, I was inches away from pulling the underarm serve out. But it was the most embarrassing thing ever. I I served. I just like, you know, welled up the last bit of energy, and I hit a great serve, an approach shot, put the ball away, and got the first point of the tiebreaker, which is super, super key to get the first point. And I went over to I was handing him the balls, but after I'd won that first point, my team is behind me watching me, and I said 1 point down, 9 to go, or whatever. And it's a 7 point tiebreaker, not a 10 point tiebreaker. But I was so tired, I had convinced myself that it was a 10 point tiebreaker because I was like, why not? Like it's got to be a 10 pointer, right? I just had it in my head that it was a 10 point tiebreaker for some reason. So I guess I was just being a glutton for punishment at that point. And we ended up playing the tiebreaker. It was a pretty close tiebreaker, but I ended up winning 7-3, which thank God, right? But when I won the seventh point, he looked at his teammate and was thinking the match was over, I guess. But to me, on the other side of the court, thinking it's a 10 point tiebreaker, I'm looking at him like he's looking like the score's not right, or like he maybe I have the score wrong or something. And so I'm like, yeah, it's 7-3. He's like, wait, what? And then he starts looking at his teammate, and his teammates are like, I don't know, And I'm like, yes, it's 7-3. I was starting to get pissed because I was just tired and grumpy, and I was starting to get mad. I was like, yeah, it's 7-3, dude. I promise that's the score. And he was like, oh, okay, well, it's a 7 point tiebreaker. And I was like, oh no. It was just the most embarrassing moment because I had like yelled like 3 times. I was like, yes, it's 7-3. And and he was like, and then everybody just started laughing, and I just dropped my racket and was like, I'm so done, like. But just like, it was such an anticlimactic win, like I won the 7 point, which is like walking back to take the next serve, and I had won the match already, so. But man, it was like 2.5 hours. I ran out of all liquids I had. I didn't have any food. Yeah, I still play with the E zone. Yep. It was just such a brutal match. I was just not ready for the summer heat like that. It was my second match of the summer heat. They've both been really long matches, so I need to figure out a way to build my stamina up and not let that happen again, because I can't get that tired again. That's one of the most tired I've ever been in a tennis match. But I wanted to win so bad because it was my first match for my team of the season, and we were playing a really good team, and I wanted to win so bad. And then the icing on the cake for this entire situation was that we've won 2 lines after my match, and we've lost 2 lines. And so our fifth match is playing is like the tiebreaker match. It's going to determine who wins the match. And our team is up 1 set, and then they're up 4-3 in the second set. And it pours down rain, so they have to reschedule the match, which they're rescheduling for today. But we didn't actually get to finish the match, so like I didn't get to see if my hard work paid off to get us the win, So it was like, it's just rough. You don't want to have to wait for something like that, especially like our doubles was playing really, really well for line 5. Sometimes you do just have to grind out the win, Shaquem. Oh man, that was a rough win. Which, I mean, I'm super proud to have beaten him because he's kind of like my kryptonite style player. He had really solid strokes, very consistent. The only times that he was missing was when I was forcing misses, or when he was getting a little bit tired, he started to make some errors. Which, I mean, that's just how that's gonna go. So, but that's kind of my kryptonite is being able to beat people that are just very consistent on both wings. His backhand was great and his forehand was great. So I was having to really blast some serves in, come to net, put some balls away, like really having to work for my points, and it wasn't easy. Wasn't easy. That's probably why I ended up burning out so fast. It's because I knew that I was gonna have to blast some serves by him, and so I was just using a lot of my energy on my service games and trying to put some pressure on his service games because his serve wasn't the best. He let me attack his second serve big time, and I put some of them away, put some of them in the net like I always do. But I definitely was attacking the second serve, which is something that you guys yell at me a lot about. So very happy with how that turned out. So, but getting a win like that's a huge tick in the belt. So very happy to get the win. And I think they're going to put me on the schedule for this weekend too. But it's really hard for me to record my USTA matches. If you guys can imagine, it's a team setting, so it wouldn't just be like asking my opponent to like record. It would be that plus like getting the team's permissions and stuff to record. So I've asked my captain once about it. He didn't seem like it was probably going to be a good idea. So I've just kind of left it at that. I'm just not recording my USTA matches. It adds added pressure in an environment where the pressure's already high. So just not for me per se, but for other people around me, you know, like they might think I have some malicious intent for recording the match or something. I don't know. But it's not something I want to mess with, especially within the team environment. I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable. That's not the point of the videos. The point is for learning and just getting better. So, and then also being able to share it with you guys, obviously. But some eventually I'll hopefully be able to record some USTA matches because I mean I know you guys would want to see those. That's where I am, you know, like that's the competition that I'm at right now. So like official rated 4.0 matches. But then we've got my T2 secret weapon record matches really. um, it's funny though because after the match, my opponent, I mean, he knew how good of a match it was. We had so many people around watching at this point, you know. He knew how good of a match it was, and when we shook hands at the end, he was like, "Man, that was like a really good match. We got to do that again sometime. Next time we're gonna have to break out the camera." And it's funny because I didn't even ask him, but I don't know if he said that because he knows I record matches because I didn't tell him, or if he just was like, if that was just like a comment, like, "Oh, that was such a good match. We should record the next time we play or something," you know. But I thought that was pretty funny. But some unfortunate news for my playoffs. So my second round playoffs, I should be playing this Saturday, but I'm not going to be able to record it. I asked the guy, and he said he doesn't want to be recorded, so can't record the match. But you know, that's how it goes, and hopefully we can win that one and get to the next round, and maybe that guy will let me record. So that's all we can hope for out here. I'm trying my best to get you guys some of these quality content matches that I'm getting to play right now, but it's tough sometimes. So sometimes you only get to see the offhanded matches or the matches where I'm practicing, etc. So I was really hoping he was gonna say okay to recording, because that would have been, I already know it's gonna be like a solid. I mean, like my opponent is gonna be solid. I think he won his first match like 6-2 or 6-3, 6-1 or something crazy. Like he crushed his first round opponent. And I was looking at his record; he's undefeated. So he's probably going to crush me too. But you know, I'm going to put up a fight. I'm going to put up a fight, just see if I can serve well and put the ball by him. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of do a quick live stream today to kind of give you guys an update because you know I've got the USTA matches going on. I've got my playoffs going on. So there's some big matches going on in my life right now. And my knee's starting to feel more comfortable. Even after those 2.5 hour matches, my legs felt great, which is fantastic for me because that's not a usual thing for me. Usually my elbow's hurting and my knees are aching and you know everything else. Hey man, I play at 4.0 level in Buckhead. You close to there? Would love to get a recorded match in at some point. Keep up the good work. Hey Michael, I am in Decatur. So about 15-20 minutes from you. But absolutely. I put my email in all of my videos. So if you just find the email, I think it's acingtennis195@gmail.com. If you just find that email, shoot me an email. I've got my phone right here. It comes to my phone. And just tell me who you are. and we'll get a match in for sure. 100%. It's a little tough right now because I've got so many matches going on, and I also have my exercise program that I have to do every day during the week, which takes a bit out of me. So just be patient, and we'll get a match for sure. You played with Eric, and he told me about your channel. Yep, yep. I've played Eric 5 times now. 0 for 5. He's a fantastic player. Such a competitor, such an athlete. But yeah, he loves the channel, and he's always trying to support me in whichever way we can. What's my sleep schedule? If you're asking like what time I go to sleep and stuff, probably usually between midnight and 1 o'clock. Wake up between 9 and 10 o'clock, or usually closer to 10 o'clock. So I usually sleep from about 12 or 1 a.m. to about 10 a.m. depending on whether I have something to do in the morning or whether I, all that kind of good stuff. But I usually try to get at least. I'm a big sleeper. I love sleep, and I sleep longer than normal people. So I try to sleep between 8 and 9 hours usually, hopefully. Yeah, people that operate on like 5, 6, even 7 hours of sleep, I don't know how they do it. My body wouldn't let me do that. I've tried it before, or I've not like attempted it, but like been forced to do it before, and my body just doesn't operate very well. I can do it for like 1 or 2 days maybe, but if I have to do it regularly, I'm just crashed. And a lot of that's probably gonna have to do with like what I eat, and that sort of stuff too. But getting good sleep's important, but it's tough sometimes. Especially like I don't know, past couple of years I haven't slept nearly as well as I used to sleep. Like I used to sleep pretty good, but I don't know. Things change in life, and now I just don't sleep nearly as well as I used to. If I sleep 6 hours, I have to take a nap. Yeah, I'm the same way. You're wearing new kicks these days? I've been wearing the same shoes probably for about the past year or so. Not the same pair, but the same brand or whatever. The shop that I go to gets they're usually on sale there, so that's usually what I end up getting. They're usually like $100 or something, and now they're usually on sale for like 70. So that's what I end up getting. I get whatever's cheapest and whatever's comfortable. It's these K-Swiss something or other. I just changed colors. I had these like black and red ones. Now I have white ones. I've used like blue and white ones or something like that. I can't remember, but any color that I get. They're K-Swiss something. Here, I actually have some right behind me. One sec. But on the hard courts here in Atlanta, it can go through shoes real quick. These K-Swiss. I'm not really entirely, but like this is what happens to my shoes. I literally wear a hole right here. All right, Walter. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that. No. Let's see if it has like a brand or anything under here. Hey, dude. Hopefully you guys can't hear my dog barking. There's like the garbage man outside, and he hates the garbage man, naturally. Come here, dog. Mwah. Let's see. Try to cross-court rally practice. It will help you with placing the ball just near the sidelines. Just saw your June 5th match. Thanks, Fanshaz Tiagi. That's my best. That's the best I can do there. Yeah, no, cross-court rally in practice is one of the most effective ways to practice. I 100% agree. Use the Acing Gel Resolution 8s. They're so good. I need to look into more shoes, probably. I don't really put a whole lot of effort into picking my shoes. Like I said, I just kind of pick whatever's the cheapest that I can find. And then it also needs to have a certain amount of like protection right here. As you can see, this has got a really thick border on the side here. I have to have that from the way that I slide my foot when I serve, and just my lack of, I mean, it's probably not a good thing, but because of my knee and because of the way my brain treats like how I like move side to side, I slide a little bit to take pressure off of like when I'm planting my feet and that sort of thing. So it's probably something that I just do subconsciously, you know. But I definitely think I should look into some better shoes probably. I couldn't really tell you, Sungwoo. I really couldn't tell you what my favorite ones are. I mean, I like these a lot, but I don't have any like reference to. I've only been playing tennis really for 2 years. Um, so I mean, it's like, or however long I've been playing tennis, year and a half now. So I go through a pair of shoes about every 3 months on these hard courts because the hard courts literally shred my shoes. Um, but Adidas, and Asics. Asics Gel Resolution 8s too. I love those shoes. Let me look those up. Are they if they're within budget? Because I can't afford to buy $120 pair of shoes every 3 months. Like that's absurd. Let's see. Is that Asics Gel Resolution 8? Yeah, so they're like $120, $140, depending on the size, and then tax and shenanigans. Well, if we can get this channel to 1,000 subscribers, then I'll be able to start making at least just a teeny bit of money on the videos, and then maybe I can afford some shoes. So you guys got to get me to 1,000 subscribers so I can afford shoes. Asics and Adidas, Asics Gel Resolution 8. Play on clay though, the wear isn't as bad. Yeah, I wish I played on clay more. It's so much nicer on my knees. I don't feel nearly as worn down. It's just, yeah, the clay is just so much nicer. It's cooler. It's not nearly as hot as the hard courts, especially in the summertime. It's just nice to play on clay. But the clay courts around here, unless you're playing at like a private club with somebody that has like a membership or something, you pay time and a half or double what you pay on a hard court just to play on the clay, and that's just not something else I can afford. Oh, I love Lifetime. Michael, Lifetime is the best, probably the best tennis center in Atlanta. I've played there several times. Uh, you always I got to play on the center court that one day. It just felt so cool. Playing on the center court. I felt so honored. It was a lot of fun. I don't know if I've played on their clay though. I've just played on the hard courts, and then for the very first time ever, I got to play on their indoor court. Um, but where is the clay at? Is it like? Because I remember they're like they're terraced hard courts there to the right of the building, and then I know they have like some pickleball courts or something up like on the side. I just don't. Where's the clay located there? Where are you at, MJ? Is that somewhere like Europe or something? Because a lot of the clay courts around here are like a green clay, and they're nothing like your red clay courts that they have in Europe. We have very, very few red clay courts here. Right behind the lifted platform courts? Oh, okay. I've probably seen them, I just can't remember. If they're right behind there, then I for sure have seen them, because I've played on the ones that are like right behind the center court, so I assume it's like back there. In Spain, yeah, you've probably got a bunch of red clay courts over there in Spain. I wish. I really do wish we had more clay here. It's easy to maintain. Um, Not nearly as expensive to redo like our freaking hard courts. Clay and paid courts. The paid courts are the hard courts. Yeah. Yeah, the hard courts are just more expensive to lay down, which doesn't make. They just require regular maintenance on clay courts, which is something that they don't want to do here. So like our apartment complexes and stuff will buy, 2 hard courts or whatever to make the apartments look more enticing to people. But they buy them the one time, and then when they like break or whatever, they don't ever replace them because it's so expensive to replace them. Um, and it's just some, if they just put clay and then they just had like one of the guys go out there and just like, water and scrape it, once a day or whatever, like they would never have to replace them, but they'd have to do the maintenance. All right, Shakib, I appreciate it, bud. I really do. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Yeah, that's kind of a frustration of mine with a lot of the hard courts. They're just nobody maintains them, and then they crack, and nobody wants to replace them because they're so expensive to replace, and it's tough. If we just had a bunch more clay courts and you could hire people to maintain them, I can almost guarantee you it's cheaper to hire somebody to maintain clay courts than it is to replace hard courts once every 5 years. Yeah, I should look into some of these different shoes. YouTube foot doctor Zach. Need to look up that. In clay, we have to maintain a lot. Hard courts are simply ready to go. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Is like, that's why a lot of people choose them, is that you don't have to do any maintenance on them. And the clay, you have to water them and you have to scrape them, that sort of stuff. That's fine. But when a hard court breaks, you have to replace the whole thing. You can patch it and you can try to get away with it, but you're going to leave bad spots on the court. There's going to be dead spots, blah, 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 etc., etc. But with clay, you just add more clay, you water it, you can dig spots out, you can replace the clay, it's much easier just to keep them going for a long period of time than it is for a hard court where you have to spend tens of thousands of dollars replacing the court every time you need to replace it. And then you also have to be very careful about how you lay actual hard courts because they get laid improperly all the time, leaving dead spots. Um, you know, put them over a tree root or something that just cracks the court in half. Like you got to be careful about that kind of stuff. And there's courts all over the city here that just need replacing, but nobody wants to replace them because it's so expensive to do. Hard courts make your leg hurt, yeah. They're much rougher on the legs, depending on what kind of court you get too, because there's like 3 different kinds of hard courts around here. We've got one that's a bit softer and plays a little bit like a basketball court, which is really strange. Which there's very, very few of those. I've just played on it a couple times, and it's really weird. And then there's your typical hard court that has a lot of grip to it. So it will take the rubber straight off your shoe. Very sticky, grips the ball really well, adds a lot of top spin to your shots. And then you've got the really fast hard courts, which don't have a lot of that friction. And those can, like, you got like indoor hard courts and that are really, really fast. Then you've got some outdoor hard courts that are pretty fast too. I play for like 2 hours on hard courts after many service games. My left leg, in which I land after I serve, starts hurting like crazy. Yeah, you just have to adjust the way you play, just like anything else. When you're playing clay versus playing hard courts, you just have to adjust the way you play. If you're not used to it, it'll hurt. But you should strengthen the legs that you land on. Well, you should strengthen both of your legs, but like that's also a sign that your leg's not as strong as it should be if it's hurting that bad after serving like that. It needs to be able to absorb the impact with your hips, and your quads, your calves. Oh yeah, you can, sliding on hardcourt is. I mean, unless you're playing at a really high level, sliding on hardcourt's not a big thing. Yeah, these guys in these pro tournaments, you watch them slide on hard courts and you're like, holy crap, like I should be able to do that. No, 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 no. These guys have very strong legs, are very fast. They know what they're doing. You really need to know what you're doing to slide on hard court or you're gonna hurt yourself. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to share my update with my tennis league, my USTA, and my flex league that I'm in the playoffs for. Unfortunately, the guy's not going to let me record the second match of the playoffs. He just doesn't want to be recorded. Gotta respect that. And then my USTA matches, it's hard for me to record because of having to get everybody's consent for something like that. And my coach doesn't really want me to do it. It's what it sounded like anyway. So maybe I'll get to eventually there, but we're hoping that I win the second round of the playoffs, and then I'll get to the third round, and maybe he'll let me record. So I'm trying to record as many as I can, guys, but sometimes people don't want to be recorded, and then I end up doing a live stream like this to kind of keep you guys updated and keep you in the loop, because you don't want to be just thinking that I'm just not recording any of my matches. I'm trying, I really am. Yeah, on hard court needs fitness to get to the ball, but on clay, if you push and slide and you're returning the ball. Yep, and clay also slows the ball down and gives you the time to get there too. Anyway, I'm going to head out for now, guys. If you haven't liked the video, share this with your friends. We're like 49 subscribers or something like that away from 1,000. And then I can start making just a little bit of money to pay for my court fees and to pay for my tennis balls and to pay for my, apparently I'm going to have to get Acing Ben's Gel Resolution 8 tennis shoes. Hey Curtis, I'll go ahead and answer your question before I have to head out. Knee is feeling quite good, actually. I just played a couple 2-hour matches the other day, and my legs felt really strong and really good. It's still not 100%. Obviously, it's going to take a while to get to that level, but it's definitely feeling a lot better right now. Matches are going well, so yeah, very happy with my progress so far. So appreciate you asking. But guys, I have to head out. That was the update. I will catch you guys soon, and hopefully my round 2 tennis match goes well, and my USTA match this Sunday. So keep me in your thoughts, keep me in your prayers, and I will see you guys soon. Thank you.